Hey guys, if you're interested in any figures or figure accessories that I have currently up for sale, go ahead and send me an email. Just go to my channel page on YouTube and go to the About section, click on that, and you'll be able to get in touch with me. How's it going, my fellow collectors? I am back again with another 1/6 scale figure review. And I really don't know how to start this review off, guys. I've had this figure in my collection for years and years, and I realized that I've never done a review on it. And this figure is basically like my kit bashed Hot Toys Wonder Woman. That's pretty much how this Joker figure is. I think I'll start off by saying that this is the Inart Joker head sculpt. I just received that in the mail a few days ago. I ordered it on eBay. And ever since the Inart Joker figure was announced, I've been aching to get a rooted hair version of the Heath Ledger Joker. But I think the way that Inart and Queen Studios did business, at least with this figure, was pretty screwed up, to say the least. First of all, if you wanted this rooted hair version of the Heath Ledger Joker, they were charging that outrageous price of $1,200. And of course, there's a whole bunch of collectors defending that, saying that, oh yeah, but you get a whole bunch of accessories, and two figures, and two head sculpts, and all this other stuff. Yeah, I know all that. First of all, I don't need that many accessories. And I only need one Joker figure, I don't need two. And then, of course, they argue back, well, if you don't want all that, you could always just get the sculpted hair version. But then I argue back, no, I don't want the sculpted hair version, because I don't like the way it looks. His hair looks like seaweed. So yeah, if you want the rooted hair version, they're basically hiding behind a paywall, saying that, oh, you have to buy all this stuff too if you want that. And then they say, oh yeah, well, you could always sell it on eBay if you don't want all that stuff. Yeah, no, I'm good. eBay already has a ton of jail cell version Inart Jokers on there. Plus, eBay already kills you with the sales tax and their percentage of what they gain from the things that you sell. So I'd rather not go through the circus act of jumping through hoops just to get that figure. That's why I opted just to buy the head sculpt by itself. It's really not worth the $1,200 price point. I'm talking for real, guys. If that's not enough to convince you, the problems with the magnetic base, the problems with the magnetic wrist pegs, because all the guns are made of die-cast metal, and he can't even hold the machine gun without it falling out of his arm. So I don't know about you guys, but if I'm paying that much for a figure, or two if you want to call it that, yeah, it has to be flawless. It has to be perfect. There can't be any QC issues like that at all. But that's just me. If you're okay with paying that much money, more power to you, but yeah, I'm not willing to drop that much money. It's just not worth it. I mean, you're paying the same price as a Hot Toys Hulkbuster. Another thing I didn't like about the Inart Joker is that I didn't even like that secondary head sculpt, the jail cell version of the head sculpt, where he's doing a facial expression of a smirk. I don't think that head sculpt is anywhere as near as good as the neutral head sculpt that you see here. Even the rooted hair version, it just doesn't look like Heath Ledger to me. So why would I pay so much money for something I don't want? Anyway, the rant is over. Let's move on. If you guys have been current on my collection update videos, you guys will know that I've had the DX11 Hot Toys head sculpt on this figure for years now, like a long time. And since this is the ultimate head sculpt on the market right now, probably in the world, I'm talking 1/6 scale wise, of course, I decided to get it. So we're gonna discuss right now what kit bashes I've done to this figure. This does have a Hot Toys narrow shoulder true type body on it because I used the stock body that comes with this figure for the police disguise uniform, as you can see right there. So that has the stock original body. And this one has a Hot Toys narrow shoulder true type body. And everything else, clothing wise, is the Hot Toys DX01 Joker. The only thing that's not is the tie. That is a DX11 tie. And now he has the Inart Joker head sculpt. That's the latest update on it. Alright, so now we're going to move into the actual review, guys. And as usual, we're going to start off with source information. And I've talked about this movie plenty of times before in the past with different Hot Toys figures. And as you guys know, The Dark Knight is my favorite among the trilogy. There's a lot of other people that prefer Batman Begins, but I like this one a lot better. Mainly because of the guy that you see standing before you here. Heath Ledger basically carried this movie on his shoulders by himself. I'll even go so far as to say that. Even if, hypothetically, all of the other actors weren't involved, I think Heath could have nailed this movie on his own. So, as for the source information, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Alright, so that does it for the source information. Now we're going to move on to the next category. Alright, so now we've made it to the category of packaging. And this is a huge box, guys. And since this figure is mostly a DX01 figure, that's basically why when I first bought this figure, it came with the DX01 box. And it's a really nice box. I mean, what else would you expect from the DX line? And Hot Toys doesn't do it like this like they used to in the past. Very rarely do they do this nowadays, even with the current DX figures. I did have to brush this off because I took it out of storage and it was covered in dust, and you could still see some. Right here, for example, there's still some dust. Yeah, it's been in storage for years now. Just bear with it, guys, because there's like scratches on it and stuff. It is an old figure, so. But anyway, I'm gonna try and blow through this as usual. You get an image in the background of a Joker card design. And right below that is the Dark Knight symbol. And it says The Dark Knight, the Joker. And below that it says DX01, 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the bottom right, you get the DX logo and the Hot Toys logo. On the bottom right, you get the DC logo. And on one side, there's nothing. And the whole box is in this dark gray charcoal color. On the other side, in the middle, it says the same thing, the Joker 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the bottom, it says DX01. And then on the back, not much going on. There's no images or designs or anything. You just get the DX logo here and the Hot Toys logo right below that. And then you get the Toy Hunters logo and the DC Direct logo. I don't believe Secret Base or Echo Base were open at this time when this figure was released. So that's why you don't see the whole bunch of distributors and stores logos here on this box, because they hadn't existed yet. And then below that, you get your warnings and choking hazards and stuff that nobody really reads. And below that, you get the Batman logo, the DC logo, and the WB logo. Below that is the barcode. And then once we open it up, there is a magnetic flap, which is typical of all Hot Toys DX boxes. And then on the inside, you can see that you get 1/1 scale Joker playing cards. And the middle card is a tribute to Heath Ledger. If you want to pause it and read it on up, you can. And then on the back of the door, there's more story. So you can pause that and read it on up if you want to. And then below that, it says the Joker 1/6 scale collectible figure. And then once we remove the lid, you get the figure and the police disguise outfit right beside him. And below this styrofoam case, there's another styrofoam case which houses all of his accessories and such. So really nice, I love it. And given the fact that this is a DX box, you guys already know that I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Really nice. Alright, so that does it for the packaging. Now we're going to move on to the next category. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pop your head off. How about a magic trick? I'm going to make this pencil disappear. Alright guys, so now we've made it to the category of likeness. And this is a category that I've been itching to get to, guys. So as I was saying in the intro to this review, guys, I was really unhappy with the way Inart was doing business with this figure. I don't know why they couldn't have just released a single pack version with the rooted hair. But, you know, it's all just to make more money. It's all business. That is the ultimate goal in a business, after all. So I shouldn't be that surprised with the decisions they made, which is charging us so much and making the rooted hair a premium edition of the figure. And that's the only way you can get it. And there is one other thing I forgot to mention in the intro to this review, guys. I know that there's a lot of collectors out there saying that if you were to get a custom rooted hair version of the Heath Ledger Joker, that would cost you 2 times $1,200. So that's twice as much as what the Inart Joker rooted 2-pack would cost. But that's not the case with me, guys. I did not get this head sculpt for that much money. As a matter of fact, I didn't even get it for half of $1,200. So there's your proof. Yeah, I got it for way less than $1,200, guys. But anyway, getting back to the likeness, guys. Like I said before, guys, this Heath Ledger head sculpt is the best one on the market in the world right now. Like, hands down, you know. I will agree with some collectors. They have pointed some things out, like the hair being too thick and full for the rooted version. And in the movie, Heath Ledger's hair was thinning out. So they are right about that. But there is a way to fix that. But a lot of collectors don't like to mess with the hair. But that's basically what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to stylize it. If you want your rooted hair Joker to look the best he can, that's what you're going to have to do. When I got mine, and this is the seller's fault, that's one complaint that I have. The seller didn't pack it right. He shipped it in the cylindrical case that Inart uses to pack the head sculpts in. But when I received it, the head sculpt was loose inside the canister. So it was just bouncing and flopping around in there during the whole travel to me. So the hair was a mess, and on top of that, there was some scuffs on the chin. Some of the white paint was chipped off, exposing some of the skin underneath. And the paint chipping wasn't too bad. Luckily, I was able to fix it using my own white paint. I just put little dabs of paint on his chin and I was able to fix it. As you can see right now, you can't even tell. And I also had to fix the hair because it was all flaring out. And Inart does put hairspray or some kind of hair product in the rooted hair to hold it in place, so the head sculpt can have that iconic hairstyle that Joker had in the movie. But because it was bouncing and flopping around in that canister while it was en route to me, I had to fix it. I had to stylize it. It was flaring out from the bottom. So I remembered the video that Inart released on YouTube where you can fix the hair yourself. So what I did is I took a paintbrush and I dabbed it in water and I just started brushing down on the hair, downward. and basically getting the hair as flush to the face or head as possible. And this is the result that I got. But yeah, I'm pretty pissed at that seller that he did such a shitty job in packaging this head sculpt and shipping it to me like that. The upside is that it wasn't so bad that I had to return it. Like I said, I just fixed it myself. But getting back to the likeness, we already talked about the rooted hairs, so I'm going to start talking about the face and the paint apps now. Excellent, excellent work. Top quality. You see the wrinkles on his forehead and the lipstick on his mouth. At least I think it's lipstick. I don't know if it's paint as well. Regardless, that's excellent as well. Yeah, I'm loving everything. One thing I noticed in the first batches of the Inart Joker, they did have some white paint in the rooted hair. I have a little bit in mine, but I don't have nearly as much as those collectors with the first batches of the Inart figure have. I wish there was more because that would have shown more realism, like, as he was smearing it all over his face, some of it got in his hair. But that's just a nitpick. As for the likeness to Heath Ledger, I'm gonna go so far as to say it's 100% accurate. Better than any head sculpt out there, including Hot Toys right now. Hot Toys does have a chance to redeem themselves and make a better head sculpt than this with their artisan Heath Ledger Joker. But I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it's gonna top this. But even if it did, I still don't like the open mouth where you can place the tongue in it. I know that Heath Ledger did that a lot in the movie, where he was sticking his tongue out. But anyway, I gotta give the likeness a 10 out of 10. Excellent, excellent work by Inart and Queen Studios. But yeah, that smirking head sculpt, it wasn't good. Maybe I'd have a different opinion if I had it in hand. But going off of what I've seen online with photos and videos, I'd give it a 5 out of 10 for that smirking head sculpt. I definitely don't regret just buying this head sculpt by itself. It's probably the best decision I've done. Definitely better than getting the whole package and paying $1,200. Right now, that whole bundle pack is going for like 1,300 or 400 on Big Bad Toy Store. That's an even worse price point. But anyway, that does it for the likeness. Now we're going to move on to the next category. Alright, so now we've made it to the category of outfit. And as I've said before, guys, this is pretty much the Hot Toys DX01 Joker. So everything that came with that figure, this figure has. But yeah, we'll run it down as usual, starting from the top and working our way all the way to the bottom. The shirt is that octagon pattern dress shirt that the Joker wears in The Dark Knight. And I'd say it's pretty accurate. There have been other shirts that are a lot better than this. I guess it's the tailoring. I can't say for sure since I don't own any of those figures. But I'd say this shirt is pretty close to how it was in the movie, so I'm happy with it. And then we move on to the tie. As I said before, this is the DX11 tie. And it has the same pattern as what Heath Ledger wore in The Dark Knight. I wasn't very happy with the DX01 tie. The pattern was a little different and so were the colors. It was more of a darker color. And it was a matte color too, whereas this one is a little bit more shinier. And that's more accurate to how it looked in the movie. So yeah, that's why I replaced that tie. So then we move on to the green vest. And there's very good tailoring on that too. It's very accurate to how it looked in the movie. I can't remember if it was a brighter green than this in the movie. It might have been, but it's still good nonetheless. Yeah, very accurate. It even has the missing second button that you see there. And that's accurate to how it was in the movie. And then we move on down to the pants. You can't really see them because he's sitting at this table right now. But they are those purple pinstripe pants that he wore and he's iconic for in the movie. And they look really good and I'm really happy with them too. The best part about this figure is that it doesn't have much in terms of pleather material. I believe there is some pleather, such as the small bits that are a part of his suspenders, but those are underneath his vest. They do have a little bit of pleather material, and since this is such an old figure, that pleather has started to peel. Well, I shouldn't say started to, it's pretty much flaked beyond repair. But it's alright because this green vest covers that, so I'm not very worried about it. So yeah, basically his whole outfit is a cloth material, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, the pinstripe pants look real good and they're very accurate to the movie. And then he has this pocket chain, and he did have that in the movie. This one is a silver color. I don't know if that's accurate. I have seen other figures that have it in a gold color. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to be silver or gold. Moving on down, we do get his multicolored socks in a checkered pattern. And that's pretty accurate to the movie as well. And then we get his shoes, which are curved at the toe. They do curve upward. There have been multiple iterations of these shoes. When the DX11 came out, those were made of a suede material. They weren't sculpted necessarily. And it looked like it had real laces. And that's all cool and all, but they just always looked weird to me. I prefer these shoes to those. And then the Inart Joker figure came out. Those are also sculpted shoes. And yeah, they look good, but like I said, I'm happy with these shoes still. I love the way they look. And then we get his famous purple coat. It comes with a grayish purple blazer, and they both have this red lining. So yeah, that's what he wore in the movie, this grayish purple blazer, and he wore this purple trench coat over it. I don't like the way the DX11 coat looks. It looks like a bathrobe. That's basically why I always preferred the DX01 coat to that. And then the Inart Joker came out, and I have to say that that's probably the best tailoring out of all of the Heath Ledger Jokers out there when you compare them all together. Not only the best tailoring on the coat, but on the whole entire outfit. And props to them for that. It should have the best tailoring out of any company because you're paying top dollar for that. I wouldn't expect anything less. Having said that, I am still happy with the way this outfit looks because it's pretty accurate too. Now, I'm still not sure what the actual color was in the movie, the lining of the coats. I don't know if it was this red color or the orange color. As you can see here, Hot Toys decided to go with this red lining for the DX01, but when the DX11 came out, they changed it to orange color. And the same thing with the Inart Joker. The lining for the coats with that one was also an orange color. So I'm assuming that orange is the accurate color to go with. But still, I'm digging the red. I like it. That's why I decided to just keep the DX01 coats. And as you can see, it does have the grenade rig. That's another thing that bothered me. The Inart Joker also comes with the grenade rig, but it doesn't have these metal pins. So you see all those metallic pins that are on the straps. It should have those because I do remember seeing them in the movie. So I don't know why they don't. Another thing about this grenade rig is that at least one of the grenades are missing. They have the pineapple, which is accurate, but they don't have any of the M67 grenades, which they're supposed to because they were in the movie. And the Inart version of the Joker does have those M67 grenades. So they both have their inaccuracies, both the Hot Toys and the Inart version. But still cool nonetheless. You still get to recreate that scene in the mobster's kitchen where he says, "Ah, da 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 da. Let's not blow this out of proportion." So yeah, that's cool. So for the outfit, and because I love it so much, and I think it's very closely accurate to how it looks in the movie, and like I said, the only inaccuracy is the grenade rig, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Since the Inart Joker has the better tailoring, that's pretty much the only reason why that it's bumped down a point. And I just want to show you guys this pose really quick. I got them both posed in the famous scene where they turn on the lights in the interrogation room and all of a sudden you see Batman standing right behind the Joker. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the next category. Okay, so now we made it to the category of articulation. And since I already mentioned that this is a Hot Toys narrow shoulder true type body, you guys can already know what to expect with the articulation from this body. But I'll run through it, same as always, anyway. Starting from the top, it's a ball and socket joint at the base of the neck. I did do a modification to the neck. Since the Inart head sculpt is not compatible with the Hot Toys body, please be aware of that, guys. So I did do a neck mod. As you can see here, basically how a Hot Toys neck adapter works is you just plug in this adapter to the neck because there's a rubber ring that goes on the inside of the bottom of the neck. So you just key it in basically, and the rubber ring hugs that key really tightly and it holds it in place. But the Hot Toys neck adapter, it's too wide for the Inart head sculpt. Basically, the key won't fit inside the neck piece where the rubber ring is. So what I did is that I cut the key off. I basically took a saw and cut it off with that. And I smoothed off the bottom part where the key was. I smoothed that out so I can make a flat surface, and then I glued it on to the Inart neck piece using Gorilla Glue so it can have a super ultra strong hold. And now it looks like this when you take it off the body. So yeah, it's basically glued on there now. So you're going to have to do that if you want to do this modification, if you want to put the Inart head sculpt on a Hot Toys body. And since it has a ball and socket joint, it can rotate 360 all the way around. And it has slight tilt from side to side. And he can look down pretty good and tilt his head up pretty good too. As you guys saw in the earlier poses, he can do that hunchback look that he's so popular for in the movie. So that's good. And moving down, as I said before, your typical articulation on a Hot Toys True Type body. He's got shoulder shrugs, butterfly joints. He can row his shoulders as well. And he can rotate his arms over his head. But the coat hinders that. So it's easier to do it without the coat on rather than with the coat. And he can pretty much do a T-pose, and he does have bicep swivel, double bended elbows, and he has typical Hot Toys wrist pegs. Moving down, he does have ab crunch, and he can lean back pretty good as well and tilt from side to side. He does have waist swivel. When we move on down to the crotch area, the hip to thigh, the articulation there is pretty good. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees. As you saw previously in other poses, he can sit down in a chair pretty good. He can kick backward slightly. And he can almost do the splits, but he's hindered by the pants, of course. He does have thigh swivel and double bended knees. And he does have ball and socket ankle joints. Now, because this is an old figure, he does have trouble standing up now. It's not too loose, but he can't stand up on his own anymore since he's so old. So yeah, the ankle joints aren't as tight as what they were when he was brand new. But yeah, I think that's it for the articulation. One thing I forgot to mention on the outfit category is that the bottom of his coat is wired. So you can pose the bottom of the coat however you see fit. But there is no wires on the front of the coat, just the bottom. I believe the Inart Joker also has wires in his coat too, but I'm not sure where all the wires are located, since I don't own that figure. So I couldn't tell you. But I am thankful for the wires I do have on this coat. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the articulation. Now I'm going to talk you guys through this pose. As you can see, I got him in where he first arrived to that party where he was looking for Harvey Dent. Hello, everyone. We are tonight's entertainment. I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent? That's basically the pose I was going for. So, as for the score for Articulation, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Because, Joker isn't an acrobatic character, he's just a normal guy when it comes to articulation. I can't say the same about his mind. Alright, so moving on to the next category. Okay, so we've made it to the final category, which is accessories. And since this is a kit bashed figure, this figure has a lot more accessories than what it normally comes with. So we'll run it down as usual, starting with the hands. My kit bashed version comes with 13 hands. 7 of them are gloved, and 6 of them are ungloved, as you can see. The ungloved hands are from the DX11, and I love them. They have extreme detail, and I love the paint apps. So when I zoom into the fingernails here, you can see it's basically supposed to simulate when he was applying the paint to his face. You can see the blacks around the fingernails. Basically another reason why I don't need the Inart Joker, even though it comes with those seamless forearms, because I'm very happy with these hands. Basically I don't need to upgrade because these hands are real good. So you get a pair of ungloved relaxed hands, and then a pair of hands that are splayed out, like kind of doing gestures, I guess. And then one ungloved right pointing finger hand. And then another one that's kind of like a gripping hand. Moving on to the gloved hands, we get one left trigger finger hand, which is weird. I don't remember in the movie if he was left-handed, or if he held any of the weapons, any of the guns with his left hand. I'm assuming so, since we got a left trigger finger hand. But I wish they would have given us a right trigger finger hand as well, because he can't hold any of his weapons with any of his right hands. And then he comes with another gesturing hand. I mainly use this hand to cradle the shotgun with. And this is the hand you use to have him hold his Joker playing cards. And then you get this spread open hand. And this one is used for the grenade rig pose. You just put the ring around his thumb here. And then we get this left relaxed hand. And this right hand I basically use to hold his knife with. And then this hand I use it to... It's also for the grenade rig pose. You use it to hold his trench coat lapel with, to basically show everybody the grenades in his coat. And then you get a pair of spare wrist pegs just in case you break the ones that are already on the figure. And then we move on to the guns and the weapons. In this clamshell we get his Glock and his knife. As you can see, it does have a removable magazine, and the slide, it's spring loaded. But it is all plastic. The Inart version is die cast. From what I've seen, the Inart Joker is able to hold the Glock with no problems, but it has trouble holding another weapon, which I'll show you shortly. The knife is also made of a plastic, and it also has a functional retraction. Moving on to his Smith & Wesson M76 machine gun. This is also made of plastic. It does have a spring-loaded chamber, and the magazine does come out too. And like I said before, the Inart version has a die-cast metal version of this gun. But the downside to that figure is that he can't hold on to it because it's so heavy, and the wrist pegs peg on with magnets. So yeah, as you can imagine, it falls off of the arm very often. So good luck trying to pose the machine gun with that figure. There's yet another reason why I didn't buy that figure, especially at that price point, which still bothers me. Anyway, moving on, we also get the Remington 870 with a shortened barreled and shortened stock 12 gauge shotgun. This is the one that he steals from that bank manager in the beginning of the movie. This figure doesn't originally come with this gun. This gun is from the bank robber Joker Hot Toys figure. I just decided to get this separately. And it does have a pump, as you can see. I just wish that the chamber would open when you're moving the pump. I'm glad I got this shotgun because he does a lot of scenes with it. And then we have the Laughing Maniacally head sculpt. This is from the DX11. And I am so glad that I have it in my possession. I don't think anybody else has made a head sculpt like this, not even the customizers. And they all should have, even companies and customizers. They should have all made their own versions of a Laughing Maniacally Heath Ledger Joker. Because he's iconic for it. He does it a lot in the movie. So I don't understand why not many people have done a head sculpt like this, especially Inart, instead of giving us that crappy smirking head sculpt. But I digress. I'm just glad I have one of my own because I use this head sculpt a lot. And I'm going to continue to use it in the future. So I'm glad I have it, and I prefer it to that Inart smirking head sculpt. And then we also get the infamous pencil, which also comes with the DX11, and it is awesome. And then we also get the Joker playing cards, which is really nice. It comes with a whole stack of them. A lot of people like to use these to display all over his base. And then we have the table, and this one also comes with the DX11 along with the chair. Very screen accurate to the one that they use in the movie. It also comes with a lamp that's magnetically attached to the table. So I got both the table and the chair separately for this figure. And we're talking years and years ago that I got all of these accessories. The only thing that I got recently was the Inart head sculpt. The one thing that the DX01 does come with is this outfit and this head sculpt. The police disguise uniform. So it comes with the shoes, the black socks underneath, the pants, a white dress shirt, this police overcoat, the badge that you see on his left breast there, the black tie, and it comes with the hat, the white gloved hands, and it also comes with this M1 Garand rifle. The only thing that it doesn't come with is the body, so you have to buy an extra Hot Toys narrow shoulder true type body in order to dress him in this extra outfit. Or you can remove the outfit that he already has on him, but that's too much messing around with the figure. Because this is a slightly complicated outfit. It's not that elaborate, but it is slightly complicated. So I'd rather not take it off the body. I think I only did it once and I didn't like the experience. So yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. The only reason I did do it is to put the outfit on this Hot Toys True Type narrow shoulder body. Because the forearms on this body are made of a skin colored plastic. Whereas the original stock body for the Joker, the forearms are made of this shiny plastic. So if you want to put them in the police interrogation scene like this, it doesn't look good if you want to roll up the sleeves. Because you see that shiny plastic and it contrasts with the ungloved DX11 hands. So that's why I decided to put the clothes on this body. So yeah, I'm glad I have this police disguise uniform. And as I said before, he comes with the grenade rig, which is not entirely accurate to the movie. But neither is the Inart Joker grenade rig. And I will say one more thing about the Inart Joker. The gloves are more accurate than these ones, the DX01 ones. I do like the way they look a lot more than these. But having said that, I don't like the magnetic wrist pegs. So that's another reason why I decided to stick with this version. And then we also get the old-fashioned DX base. And all these $100 bills that you see on it, I got them from somewhere else. They don't come with the figure. But yeah, I just decided to spread them all out on his base since he doesn't really care about money anyway. But yeah, this is the DX01 Joker base. It does have a light up function, and you do see the metal nameplate right there. Now, the DX11 version comes with the same base, but the metal flooring that you see here, it's all rusted on the DX11, whereas this one is clean. And the DX version has a purple frame all around it, whereas this one is black. So that's the difference between the DX11 and the DX01. And like I said before, the Inart base is horrible. I mean, the poses you can do on that base are very limited. And then there's the danger of the figure falling over. And if you damage that head sculpt, that'll be all she wrote. Good luck with that because that is an expensive head sculpt. If you scratch that head sculpt, it's over. You're done for. Another reason why it's not worth $1,200. Alright, so that does it for the accessories, and for the score, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Now, granted, most of these accessories I had to get separately, but because I have them, it does make it a 10 out of 10. So there you go. Alright, so that does it for the accessories. Now we're going to add up the scores and wrap up this review. Alright, so to add up the scores and wrap up this review, guys, this figure gets a 56 out of 60. And that's a pretty high score. I will admit, I am kind of biased. Maybe that makes this whole review a little unfair. And this is a kit bashed figure, so it has all the parts that I want. But still, all in all, this has become one of my favorite figures. I have to admit that. So to talk you guys through this pose, you all recognize it. It's the hit me pose. And as you can see, he is holding a machine gun. And there's absolutely no problems with it staying on the figure, which is how it's supposed to be. Take note, Inart. Maybe take a page out of Hot Toys' playbook. So yeah, that's another review done and in the bag, guys. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. But until next time, guys, I shall catch you all later on the tube. Alright. Bye, guys. Oh, look at that. He can hold the machine gun. Oh, is it going to fall? Oh, no, no, it's not. Oh, look at that. Oh, gosh. Oh, Inart is so much better. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. Yeah. Woohoo!